We're speaking this morning to Ivy Tan. She is a Reiki practitioner and a sound healer. Good morning, Ivy.
Good morning, Bel. Thanks for having
Morning.
me here. Morning, JD.
Now, first of all, Ivy, I think we want to ask you what got you interested in this field, in being a Reiki practitioner and doing sound healing. Was there a particular incident or an event that led you to this path?
Yes, so I actually grew up really not believing in anything related to spirituality, even though my family is fairly religious. There's a lot of multiple different methods, and the idea of meditation used to be so daunting to me. I used to think that there's no way I could sit down and just close my eyes and not
You
do
just
anything.
did it just now. You know?
I said I used to.
right. Okay.
Yeah, so growing up, like any other person, I really thought that it must have taken a guru of many years of practice to get there. But yeah, so from my own experience of I would say battling depression and anxiety, when I finally let myself try out meditation, it opened up a different side of my life. It gives me a new perspective to life. And yeah, so everything started with meditation. So with the passion of just coming back to myself and coming back to calmness, I went to Ohanajo, the studio owned by Jojo's Choice, who have been here with both of you as well.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was in that studio I got to learn so much more about spirituality. It was there that I got exposed to Reiki. I've heard of that name for the first time there. And yes, they happen to have a training to get a person attuned to become a Reiki practitioner. And out of curiosity, I attended those classes. Same goes to sound healing. Yeah, when I was exposed to how amazing sound can be. I didn't know all this before. And of course I wasn't a believer. So it was when I let myself start to explore all of these different alternative out of curiosity.
So you mentioned earlier that you yourself were struggling with some form of depression and anxiety earlier on, and you decided to try meditation to get yourself out of that.
Yeah. So I'm a very stubborn person. I still am. Growing up, I tried different method. I would go out and talk to a bunch of friends and just laugh and try to be happy, or listen to some music, do things that I love. Somehow that feeling of emptiness is always still there. So it's like, just treating the means but not the end. So the root is still there.
Oh,
and
like putting on a plaster over it.
Yes. So it was very tiring for me, and I felt like I was just circling. And it was at a point when I was actually borderline suicidal, and I thought, I told myself, what is there for me to lose if I could just try meditation? And yeah, it's really surprising, because it's like I've done all those so much external stuff to conquer this depression feeling. And when I finally try this method of just sitting quiet and coming all the way inward, I could really just see the root of it and actually do something to the ends of it. Yeah.
Interesting. So earlier you said that you took up some courses at Ohanajo.
Yes.
For as a Reiki practitioner and also as a sound healer. Like, what are some of the qualifications needed to be able to become a Reiki and sound healer?
Well,
do you have to have like something inborn? Like, do you have to have a gift to be able to be a healer?
No. So this is something that I love to say, but it sounds very cliche. We are actually all healers, and we are our own best healer. So even right now, JD, you can do it. Yeah.
Because like I heard Reiki is like they use the palm, and then it's like, you know what I mean?
Yes. So okay. So I actually signed up to a class, and from then on, I could practice Reiki. I wasn't a Reiki practitioner before. But yeah, I too asked this question: do I have to meditate for like 10 years before I could do this?
Gain the power with the force.
Yeah.
Be super connected. But no, I don't have to be chosen by divine. We are all equal in that sense. And yeah, it's really surprising, because literally anyone can do it. And when you when I tell you what Reiki is, then you would understand why we don't have to be special. Yeah.
Okay. So what is Reiki healing? How does it work?
Yes. So Reiki in Chinese or in Japanese words, it means 灵气. The two words literally means divine energy or divine qi. It was discovered by a Japanese doctor who were a Western medicine practitioner for many years. And he actually realized that there's so many different illness and symptoms that cannot be treated with just injection or, medicine or surgery. So frustrated, he let himself discover different form of medicine. So he actually even tried Chinese medicine and different method. And in the end, he realized that there's that one gap that can only be treated with divine energy. It was one day when he realized that he actually became a vessel for the divine energy to flow through him to come to any patient that he is treating, for that divine energy to heal any illnesses. So with that, he then started a school of training people, or in other words, to help people understand that actually they too can become this vessel for that divine energy to flow through. And when someone is using Reiki to heal someone, they don't have some magic power because that divine energy is already there. So the attunement, the training is all to really just help us clear out any of our personal ego or of our any ill intentions, to become a very clear passageway for that existing divine energy to flow through us to the person. Yeah.
I think we need to clarify that means you're not being possessed or anything.
No.
You're just
Because
right?
when I think about it, divine energy to go through us, and then we can heal that person, It just
but you're just basically like a conduit, I suppose. Is that the right word to
so
use?
you really become vessel is the best word I can say, because you when we do practicing Reiki, it's really opening up ourselves and then closing it back by the end of the session. So it's because that divine energy, or we should say universal force, some people call it the source, it could be the sun energy, whatever the name is, it's just basically the existing healing power that is already there, and we become the person to channel it. That's all.
Do you have to be religious to be able to channel this divine energy?
No. So you don't have to particularly believe in particular religion. I know of someone who are very old, and she's a very devoted Christian, but she practices Reiki as well. I'm a Buddhist. I practice Reiki. There are people who doesn't believe in religion. They practice Reiki too. Yeah.
Okay. So it says energy healing. So you're healing someone with energy that comes over you.
You can even do that to yourself. Yes.
So when you heal someone, or when you do that to yourself, or when you heal someone, does the energy deplete from your body then?
No. So I don't want to say in spiritual learning, if any of you have heard of aura or chi, it's basically all of us are that little specks of energy form that belongs to a family or a home of energy form. And so when we don't connect with the divine, or we don't connect to the source of it, then some people might have mistakenly done it this way, and you would feel very exhausted because you are literally emptying your cup to pour into the other person. But when you do this, then you are connecting to the waterfall of it, so your cup is never empty. Yeah.
That's a very interesting way of putting it. So it's like, it's kind of like, because I'm thinking about it as like an engineer, I am basically the conductor.
Yes.
Basically, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a really, really interesting way to put it too. It's like there's that electric force that is constantly flowing, and you're just tapping into it. That's all.
Right. So the light bulb that cukup power, not enough power. So you use this energy and then ding.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. That's my way of understanding it. Okay, fine.
So to be a Reiki practitioner, the only thing that you need to do is to be able to tap into this energy source.
Yeah. So I would say having a little bit of belief in this bigger picture that is beyond us
The higher power.
would be helpful. Apart from that, you don't even have to have, certain hours of meditation clocked in. You don't have to eat vegetarian. You don't have to be super clean or anything.
Yeah.
It all
Okay.
comes with practice. Yes.
What kind of illnesses and ailments can you heal in a Reiki healing session? Like, can you cure cancer?
The straight answer of curing cancer, I would say no, but in a way, because cancer doesn't just miraculously happen. It doesn't happen suddenly. So we believe that, actually our body is living in our soul. A lot of the people think that our soul lives in our body. So our physical body is only one realm of our existence. And in fact, our spiritual body, our inner energy body is so much more powerful than the physical one. And that's the reason why our emotion actually plays such a huge role to our physical health. So if someone literally lives in resentment or in hate or in guilt all the time, then that energy, it doesn't matter how happy that person seemed to be in the workplace, that energy would affect the physical cells. And with that, it would create blockage. So that blockage in, say, your cells that is flowing in your body would then slowly one day become something like cancer. So with that, Reiki actually looks at that general picture. So yeah, I actually sometimes do it for myself when I would someday wake up with a very weird sore throat, for example. Doing for a person, it can be a tightness in a physical body that indicates something, or it can be just a general sending of love. Some people are just in a lot of pain, not being able to connect with love. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So if I have a fever, can I get a Reiki practitioner to help me heal the fever?
I know of a lot of Reiki practitioners who always treat their fever with Reiki. So literally it's, so like any symptoms, it's just showing an imbalance in you. So so some days it may be because you're just too exhausted. So then connect with Reiki again and just let that energy flow within you. Or if you have a practitioner, just let that person do what they feel is best for you.
Okay. All right. I think I understand a little bit more now about Reiki healing. But let's talk about sound healing, which is something you do as well.
Yeah.
How does that work to heal our body?
I love sound because even right now, with us talking to each other, we are relying on hearing and speaking. And sound is everywhere. In fact, some of us believe that the Big Bang happened with the sound of Om. And we actually constantly live in vibrational frequency. So the brainwave, we have 5 stages of brainwaves, and the theta and delta brainwaves are the deep sleep brainwaves. So there's actually a lot of repairing, healing, rejuvenating in our physical body, let alone the emotional aspect that happens when we are in that deep sleep. So one common answer of why sound heals is because all the instruments have been tuned to that theta and delta brainwaves. And when we attend a sound session, literally when a practitioner, plays the bowls or play the gongs, the vibration of that room literally would transform into delta and theta. So our body is so intelligent that when you actually get out of your own way, it just does everything for you. So that's why every sound healing session, we always ask you to just relax and not think, not try to do anything, because your body naturally resonates your entire being to that theta and delta state, and you get into deep sleep. And in that deep sleep state, there's a lot of repairing that happens.
So that thing that my mom gives me, this metal
wait,
bowl
you're
that-
Thanos.
Oh, really? Hold on.
He sounds like Thanos. Now we can't hear you.
How about now?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry, my it's this damn thing. So that bowl that I've seen, like even my mom uses it, where you hit it and then you spin it around and everything. She tells me to clean my crystals with it. Is that
Yes.
tuned to what, theta and what's the other one?
Yes.
Delta.
Delta?
Yeah, it is. It is. And you have
Alright.
crystals. That's amazing. Yeah. Yes, that bowl does that. Yeah.
I'm very new age.
Oh, okay. Well, well, the thing is, with sound healing, there's this scientific research to it,
Yeah.
to sound and how it
Yeah.
can vibrate our
Yeah.
body and all
Yeah.
that. But with Reiki,
Yeah.
can we explain that with science? Can we explain Reiki's healing with science?
I wouldn't be surprised if there is some research out there. One way to, I love this experiment. I think that there's some connection to it. So there's actually a lake, and a group of monks actually came to that lake, and they actually took out a sample of that lake water and put it aside before they meditated to it. And then later on, this group of monks meditated and sent love and send positive vibration. I would say in that moment, it's sending healing energy. So maybe they were doing Reiki. And then after that, they took the water sample and they compared the two. So when they look into the microscope, the before water, I would say cells were looking maybe a little bit broken and, here and there, bits and pieces. After, every water cells looks like the snowflake, they became whole again. And that's the reason why sound and Reiki heals, I would say. Yeah, because we are made of 70% of water. And that's why when we meditate, we are already healing ourselves. And when we let Reiki or sound healing happen to our body, that's how the repairing happens.
Wow, interesting. But I mean, like anything else, like all these other alternative medicines, you would have to believe that it will work for it to be able to work.
Yeah.
Won't you? Can you do Reiki and sound healing on someone who is skeptical?
My answer is yes. It's really the difference between the level of effectiveness. So because it's so much about being in the flow, and both Reiki and sound requires you to be out of your way. So if you come into a session and you have half and half, you don't really know if it's happening, then you get the half and half result. So I always tell people, it doesn't matter that you don't know this and it's completely new. It's really important for you to just become open. Yeah. So you don't have to believe it straight away, but at least not come in with, I'm going to prove you wrong. Let me just be here and see if this really, really works. So when that happens, then no matter how much, say, whatever healing energy that is coming to you, then you are literally, closing yourself up. So you won't be able to.
Exactly. Because I was wondering, being skeptical, like I don't know what I'm going to get, is very different to, I want to prove you wrong. I'm going to be as negative as possible because I don't want any healing, right? It's a different thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's all about the flow.
So Ivy, what would these two methods be best for healing? Like what kind of ailments would it heal the best?
I love that these two work so close to subconscious. Yeah. Particularly like sound, for me personally, when I first discovered it, I love that I didn't have to do something. And because in that state of depression, you eventually get to a point of feeling like it doesn't matter what I do, everything just doesn't work. So it's that loss of hope. And with sound, I don't have to do anything, and it just was done for me. And that's the reason why I am so passionate about it. I feel that both Reiki and sound is a very passive medicinal practice. And for people who are older as well, there's a lot of, say, even physical pain. Physiotherapy would ask you to move or, do a lot of exercise. Those are great. But maybe for the older generation, they don't have that energy. They don't have that motivation to do it. Then I feel that Reiki and sound would be really good for these people. Yeah.
Okay. So it's more for ailments of the mind, you think? Not really the body per se?
to be frank, mind and body, they are connected. So, someone who are very healthy looking on the outside, but feels very empty on the inside could one day still fall ill physically. So I would say it's for the healing of subconscious. It's the healing for the level deeper than your physical body. It's the healing of trauma. It's the healing of, some of us have blockages in our body that you cannot even be, some people have heart problem and that heart issue cannot be operated. So it's the healing of those, because Reiki and sound travels through your entire body so much more than just an operation. Yeah.
Also, I mean, even up to that level, heart problems, like if someone has cancer, does that work as well?
Yeah, I would say usually we look at not the symptoms. So to us, cancer is the symptom, and we try to talk to that person and find out the root cause of it. Yeah, most of the time it's because of something before that
Caused
evolved into cancer. Yeah.
Well, can you tell us a bit more about some of your more memorable success stories of patients that you've helped in your practice?
Coming top of my mind, there was this lady. She had recently lost her baby boy. So it was not a physical case, but she was quite emotionally broken when she saw me. In that moment, I was literally just letting myself be that vessel of love. So a lot of talking, a lot of releasing, just helping her to let her be. Yeah. So from then on, we are still keeping in contact. Yeah, she's doing a lot better now, and that's what I mean by how Reiki and sound helps that sort of pain. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you were saying earlier that Reiki and sound healing is something that anybody can do.
Yes.
From babies until 100 years old, even if when you can't walk, because you don't need to sort of do anything.
Yeah.
But do you need to be prepared in some way before you go for these kinds of healing?
For the person who receives or for the person who gives?
Receive, I guess. Yeah.
For the person who receives, not really. Nothing to do. Yeah, you just have to be open. Yeah, and then not try to control the entire session. Yeah, when you just let yourself be an open vessel to receive, then yes, everything would just happen on its own.
How about for the person like yourself who gives the energy?
I would say personally, my practice is to create a sacred space and to ground myself, so I don't, tune into my own ego instead of the healing source, and be as connected as I can be to my intuition as possible. Yeah, that would be my preparation.
Okay. What about someone who has no kind of sickness or illness or mental health issues and whatnot? Can they still benefit from
Of course.
Reiki and sound healing?
Then it's just about enhancing their existing health. Yeah, so I love saying that sound and Reiki, they sweep over your entire body without any bias. So when you have some blockages, it naturally unblocks it with the sound wave or with the Reiki energy. But if you are already naturally in a flow, then it's about manifestation. Then it's about enhancing your current abundance or happiness. And it's about finding your soulmate, finding your life purpose. Yeah, then it's about enhancement.
Oh, that's why, like earlier, you mentioned the sound of Om and everything. That's why some people, when they meditate, they say that, and then they say they lift it to a whole other level of consciousness. Is it?
Yeah.
What is the sound of Om anyway? You were talking about that.
I love to clarify that Om is not a sound of Buddhism, so you can actually believe in other religion and still chant Om. We believe, I read books that says that Om is the sound of creation, it's the sound of the beginning. So when we chant Om, we are connecting to the very, very source before all this complication happened. And another fun fact is that Himalayan bowls are believed to be downloaded with Buddha's knowledge.
Download it.
So
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, so when you play a Himalayan bowl, his knowledge just naturally, his wisdom would naturally flow. Yeah, so when you play a Himalayan bowl, for example, and you chant Om, it's believed to be very calming, first of all, and on top of that, you basically tune your entire body or being's vibration to the vibration of creation, to the vibration of the beginning. Yeah. That's the reason why some people find it very, very powerful or very relaxing.
Yeah, because I've read people like they've learned new things after they. I was like, what? Like how? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because they
Have you
downloaded
tried?
it.
I mean, JD, have you tried sound healing before?
No, not really.
I have been to, I think,
How'd that
2 or
work?
3 sessions.
Did you feel cleaner in a way or what? Like inside,
No. I went twice, and both times I've had different experience. The first one, I just felt like the bowls were way too loud.
Loud.
Yeah, because it's supposed to put you in deep relaxation and whatnot. But I just felt like the sound was just too loud. It was ringing in my ear. That was my first experience.
A lot to clean out, okay.
I didn't get that much, I didn't feel as
Right.
comfortable after. But the second experience was much better somehow. So is it connected with the person who's playing the bowls, or what is it? Like, why is there a difference when you go for sound healing sessions? Why is there a difference in the effects? Yeah.
There's definitely a certain level of differences depends on the person who are performing the session, and it depends on where you're at as well. So the 2 times that you're there, maybe you are in different state of mind and your body was feeling different from one to another. Yeah, so I would say the room does make a difference. How much does the sound bounce off the wall? So it can be sometimes overwhelming, say a smaller space and there's a lot of powerful instruments like gongs, so it could be overwhelming. And also how many people there, because it's all energy exchange. Yeah.
How about the practitioner?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
it depends on the practitioner as well,
yes,
right?
Yes, the practitioner, definitely. How that person plays. Everyone have their own style of connecting and also of giving. So yeah, it very much depends.
Okay.
You must have, the first time you maybe got a rock star kind of thing. Like,
No. Actually, I won't
True.
say it, but I was at Ohana Joe and it was
Yeah.
Jojo. So I was thinking.
Well, Jojo is a rock star, Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Go ahead.
another thing is when a healer is feeling different kind of energy. So for example, in a session, and the same person, the same healer feels that this room needs to unblock something. So then by intuition, we will be guided to say, play some louder sound like the gongs, because collectively we felt that, okay, maybe all of them are feeling a little blocked somewhere. So that release needs to happen. So even with our voice, we make more activating sound, which is about getting that thing out of all of you. If collectively we feel that, hey, this time, this room, everyone is feeling like they just need to sleep. So it's about creating softer sound, making sure that everyone feels more relaxed. Yeah.
Okay. Who should go for Reiki and sound healing?
Anyone.
Like, if someone listening in right now, like they're like, yeah, why should I go for Reiki sound healing? I have no problems at all. But in your opinion, who's the best candidate to get Reiki and sound healing?
I want to say the word imbalance. If you feel like your life is out of balance, you're emotionally feeling like, things are happening constantly. For example, why do you find yourself constantly in a same toxic situation? Physically, if there are weird pains, weird weird tightness. So say you ran and you sprint and there's a pain on your ankle, that's explainable. But let's say you woke up one day and suddenly there's that sore feeling, say around your chest or anywhere in your body, then when for physical body, I would say most of the people will first go to a doctor and get it all checked and all that. But if you can do that and spend a lot of money. But yeah, most of the people who couldn't find an answer, who couldn't find an explainable way of why I'm feeling this, and there's too much risk in any procedure or any prescription that are given to them by a doctor, then I would say yes, Reiki and sound would be something for you to try. The thing is, with Reiki and sound, there are no risk. So there's no side effects. You don't have to worry about, oh, if I try it, would something else happen to me?
Because it's not invasive, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So
it's not medicine that you take in your
Mm-mm.
body. Yeah.
Yeah, you won't grow another tumor in that sense. So,
Actually, on that though, if
Mhm.
you, let's say you're fine and you're a pretty healthy person, whatnot, and then you constantly practice Reiki,
yeah,
is that preventative as well for other things
Yes.
that might happen, like sickness and whatever?
Yes, definitely. So actually, we will always be in a very, very perfect health if we are constantly flowing in balance. So we only have any problem when a side of us are out of balance. The masculine side is overpowering our feminine side, for example, how we don't rest and do too much, for example. So when there's any out of balance, that is when feelings like guilt, feelings like pain would happen. And yeah, so and that's the reason why regular practice is recommended. If someone can, do sound healing on themselves, playing bowls all the time, and really set an intention. Intention is very important. A lot of people buys a sound bowl and go, I'm just gonna strike it whenever I walk.
Yeah,
out
like
the door.
me. My mom told me to get it, clean your crystals, and that's what I did, man. So yeah.
Yeah, because fundamentally, like I mentioned, we become the vessel for the energy to flow through. So you are the person who are directing where this energy goes. So your intention is the engine behind all of this. So if you have a bowl, it's better that you go, today I'm going to strike to create more love energy, for example. So when you do that, then that strike becomes more powerful and meaningful. And yeah, so do those regularly, practice these regularly, and that would definitely help to prevent yourself in coming into more imbalanced state. You're always more in balance.
Okay. But there are going to be people out there who say that this is all hocus pocus, it's like
Yes.
magic,
Yes.
What would you say to these people though? It's like you're using magic,
I get it. Like me, I used to believe that until I don't know how else to say it, until I went into the training of Reiki, and it was Jojo and Michael who asked us to look at our fingers in the sun, and we could see our own aura. And it's and also, how should I can't think of a particular example. Tai Chi or Qigong.
Yes.
Yeah, when you really let yourself feel that force between your two hands, it's very real. It's almost like you can hold that ball of energy. I remember the first time when I tried that, I really go, even if I still have any doubt that energy is a thing or chi is a thing, I literally just felt that. I just held that in my own hands. And yeah, since then, that would be, in that training course, we also were trained to scan how big or small that person's aura was.
Small?
And,
what do you mean small? Like,
huh?
I thought aura is just what we have. It's not size. There's a
Oh.
different size.
It depends on how you feel. So if someone is constantly under a lot of stress and is in survival mode, then your aura will be very depleted. So it will be very close to your body. the healthy aura is meant to be about 2 feet away from you.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like
so
wow.
yeah.
It's like
That's
a
the reason
halo.
why when you get close to a healer or someone who are very powerful, you naturally feel very comfortable because your aura is already overlapping each other. And so in that session,
So you can actually steal someone's aura. Or you can
Not
share
stealing.
someone's
Vacuum it.
aura.
Yeah, vacuum.
it's interacting. Yeah, it's
Okay,
more
okay.
on just
Sharing.
exchange.
Yeah.
So in that session, I was a little skeptical too, to be very frank with you. I was like, what is Reiki and what are you talking about? And when I had to pair up with a stranger, and we went through a lot of grounding exercise of just, relaxing our entire body and not being our ego of thinking, and literally just feeling, I was surprised that I could actually touch that person's aura. And in that moment, how could I not believe in it? Because I literally
you've
just
seen it.
explained-
Yeah, you've seen it and felt it. Yeah.
yeah, because I'm not someone who were like, oh yeah, you tell me all this and I'll buy it straight away. I was very, very skeptical myself. It was until I felt it personally. Yeah, and now I know that it is real. And
so for all the skeptics out there, just try it out.
yes,
You'll never know. There's no harm in trying any of these healing methods out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I love to tell people to come and try and sleep for a little bit. I recently read as well that even our brain, after thinking or analyzing or using it too much, we create even brain toxins. So you need those time to let those toxins to be released. And I always tell people to come, just let yourself try once.
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically, people believe like magic is, I read this somewhere, magic is science you don't understand yet. So just because you don't understand something doesn't mean it's not real.
Precisely.
Okay, one final question. There are going to be people out there who only believe in one form of healing, one form of medicine. Let's say they only believe in Western medicine and they will pop pills for every single ailment that they have.
Yeah.
How would you advise these people to sort of incorporate these alternative or complementary medicines into their life so that they can feel whole and better? Yeah.
So I love this question. Yeah. So whenever we come from this alternative medicine perspective, we're not saying that Western medicine is no good. Yeah. So by all means, if you have a lot of confidence in popping pills and knowing that, this is something that I need to do to make myself healthy, then go ahead and do that. Because to be very honest, if we yank that out of someone who truly only believes in Western medicine, we are then creating a lot of fear in that person as well. So one way is to incorporate, as in we can combine. So you can do, 70% of Western medicine and then maybe 30% of alternative on the side. So for example, you have insomnia, you cannot sleep. And you really, really believe that I can only sleep when I take that pill. So if I take that pill suddenly away from you, then you will be so much in fear that even if I play 24 hours of sound next to you, you can't relax, you see. Yeah. So the one recommended option is to always go with a softer approach. So maybe, lowering the dosage, maybe eating half or even quarter of that pill, then you try to play some relaxing sound on the side and see how does your body react to it. And it might take time. It might be, 2-3 months before you could start lowering your dosage. Maybe you can do that earlier. You have to listen to your body first.
Ease yourself into it.
Yes. Not force yourself into anything. Yeah. That would be my recommendation.
I would say that that's some sound advice. Thank you. Thank you.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
He is a punny person.
I've been holding that in for like a half hour. My God.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ivy, for that wonderful chat.
Thank you.
I think I will drag JD along with me to Hanajo one of these days. Actually, since we spoke to Jojo
months
until
ago, man.
now, we've been like, okay, we should go, but we haven't. So
I know.
I think we spoke to in January, Bel. My God.
Yeah. When we were still in the studio. Yeah.
Yeah, we are online
Okay.
now. If you want to try it, you can try it
You
anytime
can
now.
do healing online. It
There's
transfers online.
it does.
Can
it
download
does.
ma. Like so she says, yeah.
Yeah, I personally love more to be physically in a
Yeah, yeah.
sound session, but it does. Yeah, and that's the reason why even if you put on a track on Spotify and YouTube, for example, it works as well because it's all vibration. Yeah.
Cool.
So check out
Interesting.
Ohanaju Awake if you want to for yourself.
All right.
You know, it's all online. Yeah.